Good morning. Today I want to do a Father's Day painting. So that's the painting I'm going to do, and I'll show you how I did it. The original right here is 9 by 12, and I'm going to, in the context of this video, I'm going to read a poem to you by a poet named Edgar Guest, and the poem is called A Boy and His Dad, and this is a beautiful poem. And also, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you how I take this, because I painted it on a 9 by 12 and not on a blank greeting card because I ran out. That's why. So I ordered some, and they should be arriving tomorrow. But until then, I have this, and I want to show you how I make this into a printed greeting card on Fine Art America. Pretty simple. I'm going to show you at the end of the video. So if you want to watch the whole thing, that's up to you. It's a pretty short video, I think. I can't remember how long it took to make it, but I'll keep it real time. And then also at the in the bottom here, underneath where I'm talking, I'm going to put a link so you can download this picture for free. It occurred to me that maybe you might like to use it for a Father's Day card of your own, or you might just like to have it. And I don't know, the idea of offering the cards for free or the artwork as a free download, it just never occurred to me until today. So that might be a thing I do. But for now, let me stop talking. Let me stop talking. Go right to the video, show you how I painted this. I think I don't know what I'm going to call it. My Father's Day art. Father's Day art. I don't know what I'm going to call it. But I'm going to show you how I did it. And at the end, I'm going to show you how I made it into a card on Fine Art America. And also on the bottom, you can do this right now. This should be a link to show you how to download the art for free. Okay? All right, here we go. Good morning. It is Thursday, June 13th, 2024. And on Sunday, it's Father's Day. So I thought I would paint a picture that we could use for a Father's Day card. Now, I ran out of blank cards, and I ordered some. They're expected to arrive, I think, tomorrow, but it probably won't be till the afternoon. So I'm painting on a 9 by 12 sheet of paper, and I'm debating about whether to get the whole thing wet or not for this painting. I think I will do the whole thing wet, and just have some fun with this one, because I was trying to think what would be a good topic for Father's Day. Well, I'm a father, and I'm a son. So I have good memories of my own father, and I have good memories of being a father. And I think you know where I'm going with this because you saw the intro. I think I want to paint part of in my memory bank, where I store all my memories, where we all do, right? We all have memory banks. Oh, isn't that a great word? The word bank. Because that's where you store your riches, right? In your bank. That's where you store. That's where you protect. That's where you save your most treasured things. So, oh my gosh, I never thought of that before. But to save my most precious memories in my bank, my memory bank. All right, let's just go for a little bit of experimentation here. So, in my memory bank, I have camping with my dad, camping with my whole family, My mom was there too, by the way. Yeah, we always went camping as a family. And we went many places. Mostly in the Northeast, because that's where we lived. You know. But there were some, well, and a lot of camping down here in the South too, because we had, my grandparents lived in Florida at that time. And so we would travel to Florida. Is that purple? Yeah, that's purple. Do I want to use purple? Yes, a little bit. So anyway, so we would travel down to Florida, and so we'd camp in the Carolinas. Oh, I think of all the places that we camped, I think the Carolinas and upstate New York, I think those are my favorite places. What's this color here? Sometimes I can't tell what the colors are by looking at the pan. So anyway, we would go camping in the Carolinas. That's where my uncle lived, and my aunt and my cousins. They lived in South Carolina. And so I have very fond memories. And one of the most fond memories, we didn't go fishing really when I'd go camping with my dad. We didn't really. Now, I might have gone fishing with my brother, my older brother, my younger brother. I might have gone. I can't remember. But anyway, it's camping. It was the being outdoors part. Because we lived in a suburb. And as you know, suburbs are, especially of a big city, suburb of a big city is often not country-ish, country-like. It can be. I guess there are some places that are kind of country-like. But anyway, being out in the country was always fun. I don't even know if people call it in the country anymore. Keep people in a rural setting, people camping in a rural setting. So we go out, and my father had this pop-up camper, and we took it out to Yellowstone once in Wyoming. Oh my gosh, that is a great memory. I often wonder, there's no way to know this, I suppose. It's one of those mysteries that God doesn't let us know, but if we are truly on the other side, after we die, and we can truly be aware of what our loved ones are thinking on this side, then I hope my dad is hearing me talk fondly about those memories he gave me. And the memories that I have with my own son also are very important to me. And so I thought that would be a great idea for a Father's Day card, is just simply painting the memories of being out someplace where there was water. You see what's happening here? The trees in the background it's on wet. So the trees in the background are also going below the horizon, and it's like they're magically making their own reflection in the water. Yes, I like that. That's kind of cool. I'm just going to leave it like that. Keep it very impressionistic, and I'll worry about detailing it later. So I have some good memories of camping with my son, and camping with my family, my dad and my mom and my brothers. I remember a couple times waking up. I was always an early riser. I'm still an early riser. Right now it's only 6 o'clock in the morning. So that was always who I was, the guy who got up early. I get up early, go outside of the tent, and if there was a body of water there, a lake or something, it almost always had that mist that hung onto the lake, that hung above the water. It's kind of what I'm shooting for right here. So we'll make this water look like water after it dries a little bit. And with my own son, we would camp in a tent. We didn't have a pop-up thing. Well, we would camp in a tent, but we would also camp in the cabins. I was not the rough it guy. I was never the primitive camping. I know sometimes Robin will kind of make fun, have fun, poke fun a little bit, and say, "Oh, you never did rough camping," because when she was younger, she did primitive camping. I never did primitive. I was always staying in a campground, but it was good enough for me. Yeah, I like to have a shower nearby and a bathroom. That's just who I am. That's just the way I am, as they say, right? Yeah, this is kind of fun. This is kind of fun, letting the watercolor do its thing. As it dries, you can sort of kind of work it so it looks like water. Make it a little bit red, and just kind of having fun with the colors. Let's get that spread out a little bit. So there's a poem I have for today also. It's by Edgar Guest. I'll read it to you. I might need to wait for this to dry before I do a whole lot more. But I wanted some of this wet. To kind of get everything started for me. Can you hear the birds outside? It's kind of like I'm outdoors when I sit in this room sometimes. It's so easy to hear the birds. Do you know what I heard? You know what I heard yesterday on a game show? they were asking which birds can mimic the human voice. And you know, they named the crow as one of the birds that can do that. So I have many crows that live near here. And I thought, maybe if I talk to them more, they would be able to mimic me. Wouldn't that be cool? Like, they love peanuts. The crows love peanuts. So what if I were to, like, every day go outside and say, peanuts, peanuts, just say peanuts, right? And the crows would be in the tree and they'd hear me saying it. And after a while they would realize that when I say peanuts, I give them peanuts. I wonder if they would learn to say it. Wouldn't that be a video? Oh my gosh, that would be a great video to show the birds actually asking for peanuts. I'm gonna try that. And now that I've told you, you can try it. I don't know if it'll work, but it'll be fun to see. And if more of us do it, then there's more likely that some of us will be successful. What do you think? You want to make this a group project? Everybody has crows, right? Don't crows like live everywhere? I think so. I think crows are everywhere. Trying to add a little bit of yellow to this area here. So the camping trips that I did when my son was young and I was a young dad would be, let's see, where did we go? Well, we did a lot in North Carolina. So in his youth, we would travel north to some of the same places that in my youth I traveled south, because I lived in New York and he grew up here in Florida. He was born here. So I would take him north and we would see, I always wanted him to see snow because it was something, that was not part of his younger days. But he has seen snow lots now. Oh my gosh, yes. What color is that? Is that green? Yeah, I don't want green. I don't want green. What is that, blue? No, where's the blue? There's the blue. Yeah, I just want the blues and the reds for the sky and the water. I'm purposely trying to make it a little bit darker on the left and the right and the top, and then once it dries, I think once it dries, it'll look the way I want it to look. So yes, I have a poem, but I also want to tell you about this as a card, because this obviously can't be a card. It's just a painting. However, I'm going to show you how I make it into a card. I have this question a lot with the Fine Art America thing, so I'll show you how I do that. How I make this into a card. That's a very, very colorful sky there, huh? There's lots going on there. I'm kind of trying to mix the purple and the orange and the blue, kind of mixing them together here. So that's going to be the lightest part right there. Make it darker on the edges. So because it's so large, it's taken a little bit longer to do this. So I'm going to try to keep this as a real-time video, but I would not be upset if you fast-forwarded it to see how this ends up, because that's what I would do. But I kind of like hanging out with you guys and chatting with you like this. Yeah, and there will be some grass here in the foreground too. And of course those trees have to be fine-tuned. Yeah, we'll get it going. We'll get it going. I just want everything to be a little bit of color in here. So this is going to be the dark area here. One of the things about camping is that you get to be in the weeds. Now, one thing as I got older, the idea of critters was a little bit worrisome. There are so many critters out there. I just, for some reason, didn't think about it when I was younger. I didn't think about the bears. I knew they were there, but I was probably naive and stupid as far as that goes. I probably didn't. I mean, I never came across a bear, thank goodness. But, we came across the little critters. Maybe that's why I don't really want to go primitive camping. I guess if you're in a regular campground, the critters kind of know. The big critters, they stay away. But the little critters are there, the raccoons and the armadillos and the possums, or opossum, the correct way. It's a weird word, isn't it, opossum? They start a word with an O. Why did they do that? Just to make it difficult. To make the language difficult. Yeah, I want this whole bottom to be dark. I will slowly make this come to life here with the look of water, the look of a distant shoreline across the lake. I know you can see it already. Just get it really wet, and then while it's drying, I'll read the poem to you from Edgar Guest. Edgar Guest is our guest today. Alright, we're gonna let this dry now. Maybe some trees coming across the edge here. That to be very light. So the poem is called A Boy and His Dad, and it's written by Edgar Guest, and Edgar Guest lived from 1881 until 1959. And in his poem, Edgar Guest writes this: A boy and his dad on a fishing trip. There is a glorious fellowship. Father and son, and the open sky, and the white clouds lazily drifting by, and the laughing stream as it runs along, with the clicking reel like a martial song, and the father teaching the youngster gay how to land a fish in the sportsman's way. I fancy I hear them talking there, in an open boat, and the speech is fair, and the boy is learning the ways of men from the finest man in his youthful ken. Kings to the youngster cannot compare with the gentle father who's with him there. And the greatest mind of the human race not for 1 minute could take his place. Which is happier, man or boy? The soul of the father is steeped in joy, for he's finding out to his heart's delight that his son is fit for the future fight. He is learning the glorious depths of him, and the thoughts he thinks, and his every whim. And he shall discover, when night comes on, how close he has grown to his little son. A boy and his dad on a fishing trip, builders of life's companionship. Oh, I envy them as I see them there, under the sky in the open air. For out of the old long ago, come the summer days that I used to know, when I learned life's truths from my father's lips, as I shared the joy of his fishing trips. Oh my gosh, that is really a beautiful poem. I like that one a lot. Again, that was from Edgar Guest. I like that one a lot. I like when he says, I fancy I hear them talking there in an open boat and the speech is fair. You know, you can do that too. You can hear, like when somebody's out on the water, you can hear them talking because the water just carries the sound. Isn't that something? That was a great poem. Wow. I had never read it before. I just wanted something to read to you today that I didn't have. And there it was, right there, just waiting for us. That's one thing great about the internet, is you can kind of have an idea and look for something. All right, I'm going to turn off the camera for a second because this is really wet and I really can't do much while it's wet. So I'm going to dry it and then I'll be right back, okay? Okay, it's dry. It was really wet. I put a lot of water on that paper. Okay, now let's do a little bit of the finishing touches, I think. By the way, I had an idea. You guys want this picture? I have an idea. I think what I'm going to do is make this as a JPEG that you can download, and then you can have it and print it up for yourself if you want it. It's just an idea. I don't know if that's something you're going to like or not, but all right, let me just grab some of these little tiny brush strokes and make that back area a little bit more defined. I can use the bigger brush, I think, for some of this, and then I'll use the smaller one to fill in the real details. I think I'll do it this way, it'll be a little bit easier. So somebody wrote and asked me why in my biography it mentions acrylic and oil and pastel, but it doesn't mention watercolor. And that's a great question, and I will fix that. The reason it doesn't is because my biography was written so long ago on the Fine Art America or wherever it was. I have to find out where she saw it. But it was written so long ago, and to be honest with you, I haven't been doing watercolor for very long. I'd say maybe only a couple of years. So it's not been a long time since I started doing watercolor. I love watercolor. And the reason I started doing watercolor was for the cards. Because the church was looking for cards for people who were in the hospital or just lonely. And I thought to myself, I should paint cards. And for one reason or another, I just thought, well, maybe this is, I don't really know. I'm kind of trying to analyze the path I took to get to the watercolor. Here's what it probably was. I probably looked for blank cards. And when I found the blank cards, they were labeled as watercolor cards, watercolor. And so that's probably what happened. I saw the watercolor labeling on the paper that the cards were made out of, and it occurred to me that I should use watercolor paints. And so once I started doing the cards, then I got the watercolor paints. And I've said this numerous times on these videos that I'm a student. I'm not a teacher. Not with watercolor. I mean, I might be able to show you some stuff that helps, but I'm here with you. We're learning together, or maybe you're the teacher. Maybe I'm learning more from you. I have learned from some of you. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, so that's the answer. And for pointing it out, thank you for pointing it out. But my biography needs to be changed because I'm really loving watercolor. And I also think that because of my background with the oils and the acrylics, I think I paint that way still. So like right now, I don't know if this is truly what I'm doing right now. I don't know if this is truly a watercolor technique. I think this is mostly just my own painting technique that I kind of did with the acrylics and with the oils, and to a lesser extent with the pastels too. So that's what probably happened there. Well, now that looks pretty nice over there, doesn't it? I didn't even need the little brush. I think I like the way that came out. Oh, that looks nice. Put a few up here, a couple of branches sticking out into the picture. There's something closer here. That looks pretty good. I was trying to get some reflections in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this available as a download. And if you want it, you can download it and you can print it yourself and use it for whatever you want. I don't want any money. I just think this is a fun Father's Day card, and hopefully you do too. Let's get some of these dark areas here. Some more reflections. Put some leaves over here too. Why not? Why not have it bracketed by some extra branches, extra leaves that are coming across the edge here. There we go. I love that poem by Edgar Guest. Wow. I wonder if I have any information on that same page to tell me about him. I wonder who he was. Just kind of get some of this a bit wetter here again. Put some more water down. There we go. Now the only thing I want to do is I want to add some grass to this area. And then I think we'll be done with it, right? What do you think? Make some grass here. Yeah, pull that into there. It's amazing how much paint is on a brush, right? With oil paint, sometimes you don't want to do this. With oil paint, you just want to do one stroke per dip onto the palette. But with watercolor, you can kind of have a lot of fun with it. Make a little bit of growth on those. It's not just grass, it's little weeds and reeds. So if you're gonna go fishing, you gotta go fishing where the fish are, and the fish are always hanging out where the grass is. You know that, right? Well, not always. Not in the deep blue sea, right? In the deep, if you're going way out into the ocean. A lot of times the fish like to hide, and you can't blame them. I mean, think about the life of a fish. I mean, their whole life they're eating and they're being considered as food. They are food, and they what a life, huh? Okay, just add some little things here. There. And the idea to be impressionistic is always something that appeals to me also. To make it. And you know what? We could add even a few. I don't know what I was going to say there. A few light colors, I think. That's what I wanted to say, but now I'm changing my mind about that. I'm going to keep it dark. There we go. I am going to make this available as a download if you want it. I never thought about doing that before. Maybe I should have done that before. I think it's done. What do you think? I think our Father's Day card is done. So I'm going to make it into a card, and I'm going to make it available so you can download it. So I'm not done with the video yet. I got to show you how I do that. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, well, thank you for watching, and this is the ending that I told you about in the beginning. I'll straighten my shirt. So let me go to the computer screen, and I'll do that right now. Okay, and let me see. Oh, you can't see it yet. Let me start recording it. There, now you can see it, right? Okay. So this is my page on Fine Art America, and this is where I sell my art. I'm not trying to sell you art though, because I have a place underneath. If you didn't catch the beginning of the video, you can download today's picture for free. But I want to show you how I upload this so they can make it into a card, because the finished painting is 9 by 12. It's not a card, it's just a sheet of paper. So I'm going to upload the image. I already have it in the computer, so it should be easy to do. I called it Father's Day card. Father's Day. I didn't put the apostrophe because I don't always know how computers behave with punctuation. So now I have it on there and it's uploading it. And I'm going to make it into a card. It's very easy to do. So easy. And again, this is fineartamerica.com. It's pretty cool too. It's very cool. Do you hear the birds? The birds are out. All right, come on. See, it takes a while because the computer analyzes the picture and it decides what it is. It describes it. It's very cool. If I've never shown you this before, you're going to be amazed at the artificial intelligence. That I don't like artificial intelligence for a lot of things, but for this I like it. Okay, so now my picture's there. I'm going to call it Father's Day card. In this case, I am going to put an apostrophe. I'm going to describe it as a watercolor because that's what it is. And look what it did. The artificial intelligence described it as a sunset with a lake, watercolor, reflection, sky, trees, grasses, reeds, tranquil and colorful. Isn't that nice? And then it describes it this way. A serene watercolor depicts a tranquil lake at sunset with a colorful sky reflecting on the water. The foreground features dark grasses or reeds, contrasting with the softer hues of the sunset and the silhouette of trees on the horizon. I mean, it's as if a person actually looked at it. All right, so let me label this as a Poppa Paints and a landscape. And I'm not going to sell it yet. I'm just going to say no to selling it. So we don't want any of these prints here available. Well, maybe I will. Let me get rid of all the bigger ones because I think it would be blurry if it got blown up too big. 9 by 12. Okay, I'll keep that the biggest one. But then here's the one we want, the card. And so I'm going to do $1 per card for profit. Again, I'm not trying to sell you cards. This is just how I'm going to make it into a card. Okay, so it all looks good. Just that all these other things exist. So for now, I can always change them later. And then submit it. And there it is. There's my Father's Day card. And if I go to the site, my site where it's for sale, let's see. There it is. Went right to it, didn't it? And go to stationery, greeting card, and there it is. There's the greeting card. If I wanted to buy it, if I wanted to write something inside of it, and that's the whole thing. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for watching, and remember, if you want to download a JPEG of this, it's in the description underneath, okay? All right, see you later.